Alright, in this video I want to take a look at applications of functions, but specifically the difference between speed and distance. Alright, let's say that both of these represent a trip maybe from Los Angeles to Sacramento. Alright, and what we're going to look at here, they represent the same trip, but each one represents a different aspect of the trip. So, the first question I want you to do, or we are going to do, is which graph would represent the speed traveled? Our speed. Now, let's say that we're driving at a constant speed. We're going, I think, maybe about 300 miles. What graph represents the speed would be this graph. So that means that the x-axis here would be time, or our independent axis, and then our other axis, our y-axis, would be the speed. The reason I know that that axis is speed is because our line, or our function, is a straight line. It's not changing, so our speed isn't changing. What is changing is the distance. So on the second graph, we have here our time, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then 4 hours. Then the y-axis would be the distance traveled. So there's the relationship between the two graphs. All right, my next question then is what would be the slope of each of these graphs? So we're just going to write our slope. The slope of the first graph, notice that it's not changing, and when a slope is not changing, our slope will be 0. Okay, our slope of the second graph, let's see, we're going to rise 60 and run 1. So here our slope would be 60, which happens to be our speed. So our speed, or our velocity, is our slope. Alright, the last thing I want to do is taking a look at each of these graphs is writing an equation of the line for each one of them. So the first one's actually pretty simple. To find the equation of the line, you need your y-intercept, which is 60, and your slope, which is 0. So then if we put it into our slope-intercept form, our slope is 0x plus 60, so our y is just equal to 60. So that is the function, or the equation, of that first graph. On the second graph, we have our slope. We need our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is our starting point, which means we're starting at 0. Because at 0 hours, we've gone 0 miles. And then to put it into the slope-intercept form, we get y equals 60x plus 0. So the equation of this line would just be 60x. All right, so there is the difference between speed and distance. Speed will usually be a constant in reference of linear functions, and distance will be a constant increasing speed, which would be our 60. That is it for this video. It's a nice short one. Good luck.